Welcome, huge movie fanatic Nate, stopping on by. This time I'm coming your way to try to do a video under 10 minutes. Will I be able to accomplish it? I know a lot of my videos are very long. I think by YouTube standards I'm going to try to do one under 10 minutes, and to do that I got to shut the hell up and get to the point. Basically, if you've seen from weeks back, my review of the film from 1987, I think, Blood Diner, you might have already seen this, which is the official Splatter Movie Guide by Fan Taco. And it basically showcases or talks about more than 400 of the goriest, grossest, most outrageous movies ever made. I bought this when I was 14 years old in 1991, 2 years after it was published in 1989, and actually it was kind of fun, and thanks to this book I was able to articulate to the viewers of the very few viewers of that video. Actually, my review of Blood Diner is actually one of the more higher viewed videos as of late on this channel. So good to the video for that. Yay me, yay the video, yay whatever. But yeah, if you've seen that video, it was actually kind of fun to incorporate this into that video or that review of Blood Diner. And as the holiday season approaches here, or we find ourselves in the holiday season, I thought, what would be kind of cool is to open this up. Obviously, these the little spiels that are given of slasher movies and splatter movies in this book are the views of John McCarty. I think I said his name wrong in my Blood Diner review, but they're John McCarty's views and synopsises of these films, and I thought that'd be kind of fun to take this book out, maybe continue over the weeks and months and stuff to review, to every now and then to revisit this and get John McCarty's take on some random movies. And I thought in this case it only makes sense to to read Christmas horror films, and it's kind of aghast to realize that there's no Christmas Evil, aka You Better Watch Out. I couldn't find Black Christmas in here, and even that really obscure one with that adult film star makes an appearance. The To All the Good Nights not in here. The only ones I could think of that I could find. Don't Open Till Christmas isn't in here. The only ones that I could think of Christmas horror movies that I could think of. This video is not going to be under 10 minutes. Well, I'll do my best that I could find in here are Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Of course, this was published in '89, maybe just before the release of Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 on VHS and Laserdisc. Not exactly sure when in 1989 Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 came out, but alas, it's just the first two Silent Night, Deadly Nights that are featured in this book, which was published originally in 1989. So I guess I thought it'd be fun to stop on by and just read. I saved it. I didn't skim over these little synopsises before the video. I saved it for the video so you could get my real-time reaction. So I thought, well, with no further ado, we can read the synopsises from John McCarty of Silent Night, his little spiel for Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. Turning to the bookmarked page, I misspoke. It is actually Silent Night, Bloody Night in here as well, so we'll start with that since it's the oldest of the movies that we're talking about today. As you can see in this, what's it called? Official Splatter Movie Guide. Silent Night, Bloody Night. Canon Films, 1973. You can pause and read that other info if you want to. It says, this film is clearly low budget. The photography is grainy and murky, and sometimes the image is too dark to see what is going on. In spite of these problems, the filmmakers appear to have believed in what they were doing. The film boasts an incredibly complicated plot, but we are pulled in slowly so that as layer after layer of the story is peeled away, we become intrigued as to just how far things are going to go. There's an almost surrealistic quality to the story, a kind of illogical logic, as if the film exists in its own dreamlike world. The sepia-toned flashbacks are moody and evocative, and the period details are convincing enough to lend some credibility to the more far-fetched plot developments. The acting, while sometimes amateurish, works because the cast is sincere and approaches the material with conviction. There are some gruesome bits of business, although the gore is suggested more through editing than Savini-like special effects. Problems? Yes, to be sure, but there is an overriding ambience here, a dark and somber mood that draws one in and somehow makes it all work. JB, is that his initials? Yeah, no. John McCarthy. I don't know what... Oh, does that mean Jingle Bells? Is he saying... I don't know what JB is. I actually think that's really a pretty good little synopsis of Silent Night, Bloody Night. I pretty much agree with everything he says. So I thought that was a really... I think that was longer than the synopsis he did for Blood Diner. But I'd actually agree with his synopsis. Well done, John McCarthy. And right under Silent Night, Bloody Night, as we can see, is Silent Night, Deadly Night, Manson International, 1984. Little Billy's nutso grandpa scares the kid into believing that Santa Claus punishes those who are naughty and gives to those who are nice. Shortly after, Billy's parents are murdered by a psycho dressed in a Santa suit. Billy and his brother are spirited to a Catholic orphanage where the Mother Superior reinforces the punishment message. The disturbed boy grows up and gets a job in, where else? A toy store, where, come Christmas, his employer enlists him to play Santa Claus. Billy dons the suit, flips out, and, axe in hand, sets off in pursuit of naughty folks to chop up. Bottom of the barrel, mad slasher fare that unabashedly strives to include every cliché of the genre. Quigley's impalement on some moose antlers strikes the only original note. Billy gets his, of course, but the implication is that his little brother will don the killer Santa suit in a future installment. The film caused somewhat of a stir when its distributors decided to release it during the Christmas season, a tasteless decision that resulted in some initially brisk business at the box office, but the controversy prompted them to pull it from release and reopen it in the spring. Original title, Sleigh Ride. Yeah, I guess I can more or less agree with that synopsis. Although I don't, obviously the release of this film in the Christmas holiday season could be seen as distasteful. I kind of find the Christmas holiday season just, consumerism in general to be distasteful. So releasing a horror movie like this that thumbs its nose at the Christmas holiday season, I think it's not distasteful. It's thumbing its nose and flipping off the distasteful holiday. So, yeah. So it seems like this guy is more on board with the mainstream media and calling this, the decision to release this movie in the holiday season distasteful, while I was like, of course, there's only one time of year to release Silent Night, Deadly Night. Then, as we can see here, following Silent Night, Deadly Night is his spiel for Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, Manson International, 1986. Little Ricky, not of I Love Lucy fame, takes up where older brother Billy left off in this lame sequel that incorporates an astonishing 25 minutes in a third of its running time of flashback footage from the first film. So many scenes from the first film are used that the closing credit roll lists complete casts and credits for both films. The advantage, of course, is that you can catch the sequel and see the first film all at once, thus saving time. Part 2 is more lighthearted, as Eric Freeman as Ricky goes around imitating Jack Nicholson from The Shining, shouting, "Naughty!" as he dispatches victims with an axe, a gun, and a set of battery charger cables. The ending, where Ricky is blown away but survives, paves the way for a part 3, which, if equal quantities of flashback footage from the 2 earlier films are used, might make for a spirited short subject. Alright, his little spiel for Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 I found particularly amusing, and once again, more or less, I probably agree with him more on his little, spiel, or, his little ideas on the second film than I do on the first film. But yeah, I think that was probably one of the more, I've only read, at this point, not that many of these little spiels from this book so far, and I thought that was, I've actually got tears in my eyes still, and I thought that was the probably the funniest so far of them. So I don't know if we're going to make it under 10 minutes. I should probably shut the hell up and end the video in an effort to do that if we're anywhere close. But expect, maybe some more of these in the future, as this is kind of a little fun departure from what I normally do. I'm like sharing someone else's thoughts about movies and then sharing my thoughts on his thoughts. I'm reviewing the reviewer. I'm reviewing the reviewer's reviews. So stay tuned for future, basically me reading from this book, which as I already said, is the official Splatter Movie Guide, distributed by Fan Taco, written by John McCarty. So expect more of these slam bang readings of this and my thoughts on his thoughts in the future. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, we'll catch you on the next video.